welcome everybody. If you would, join me with the pledge of the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Again, welcome. Has everybody had a chance to look over the minutes of the last meeting? Any additions, corrections?
Make a motion to approve the minute.
Motion to approve. Second. And a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Get a chance to look over the monthly bills. Questions or concerns?
Motion to approve.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was looking through and I saw one in here for like an $800 for ambulance for a hose and blown. Does anybody have any idea of what that might have been? It says blown engine hose.
Jeff, I'm not sure, but I think it was a transmission line.
Okay.
I believe that that's the one that I referred to talking about, and they probably abbreviated it just to put blown hose. But I believe it was a transmission line that they.
Was that the one that had repairs at Airport Ford?
I think so, yeah.
Turbo hose behind that.
Yeah, I'll tell you, yeah. Any other questions? Had a motion by Joe to, Joe? Heard a motion to approve. Have a second? Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
We have 3 bills that showed up after I did the blue sheets. Wanted to make sure I could go ahead and pay them once. The bills from Bud for the Glinco Fire Department for Granger and Big Rig one-stop shop. Filled them right around $100 altogether. And also our invoice from Blake's Tax Service.
Those were label items.
Yes.
So the motion to pay the late bills.
Yes.
So moved, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Treasury report.
I'll be reporting for the month of September, which will be monthly, and we'll get it covered quarterly as well. We'll start with the general fund receipts, $115,403.66. Disbursements, $180,732.89, leaving a balance in general, including CDs, $261,978.75. Road fund receipts, $18.60. Disbursements, $157,511.10. Of that, the road allocation went to the general fund, so that's why that disbursement is so large. Leaving a balance in the road, including CDs, of $858,370.07. In the jail fund, receipts totaled $946.26. Disbursements, $37,398.16, leaving a balance in jail of $5,894.40. In our LGEA fund, we had receipts, checking interest of $1.43, disbursements $11,004.82, leaving a balance in LGEA of $28,542.58. Our state grants, we had pass-through monies, receipts $4,080, dispersed $4,080, leaving in our state grants fund $23.12. In our ambulance fund, receipts totaled $88,213.99, disbursements $99,051.90, leaving a balance in ambulance, including CD, of $157,497.47. Economic development receipts, checking interest, $139.30, no disbursement, which left a balance in economic development of $226,117.03. For 911, we had receipts totaling $6,904.26, disbursements $18,437.34, leaving in the 911 fund a balance of $3,498.03. In our 911 wireless fund, we had interest of $1.03, dispersed $900, leaving a balance of the 911 wireless of $23,258.09. Tourism fund, receipts totaled $325.93, disbursements totaled $3,576.70, leaving a balance in tourism of $41,185.53. And our last fund, court facilities, interest of $87.25, no disbursements, leaving a balance in court facilities of $141,616.94, and that's for September.
Motion for the treasurer's report.
Got a motion? Second. And a second. All in favor? Opposed? So carried.
We had one cash transfer for the month of September. We purchased a new CD for the EMS fund for $15,000.
I'll take that.
Yeah. Motion to accept.
It's
Second. Second. All in favor? Opposed? So carried.
I had one interfund cash transfer for September, and that was our road allocation, which is part of our budget process, where we are allowed to transfer our road allocation to general fund totaling $102,295.
Accept. So moved. Second.
second.
All in favor? Opposed? So carried.
And the last thing I have is the first quarter for the fiscal year 2011, 2012. The financial statement is in balance and ready to upload to the Department for Local Government. And that's the quarterly.
You're not going to read that.
No. I'll let you read that.
Motion to accept. Yeah. Second.
Yeah, I think that was
All in favor? So carried.
We do have a budget amendment, and this will be ordinance 101311, and this is amendment 2, and there are several things that go into this amendment. We had 2 donations from the city of Sparta. One went to the Gallatin County Fire Department, and one went to the Glinco Fire Department. We had some insurance claims from lightning strikes and some building damage to a couple of the fire trucks. So we had a combination of insurance reimbursements that go into this budget amendment. This is going to increase the receipts of the 911 fund and EMS actually. We've got some miscellaneous revenues totaling $43,996.35. And this will also increase the expenditure accounts in Gallatin County Fire Department support, Glinco Fire Department support. And what I'm doing is those donations from the city of Sparta, I'm putting those directly into their support line. Those invoices will come to us. We'll pay them out of those lines for those donations. And we did have $930 for EMS lightning damage to the building. And then the sheriff also had some lightning damage for $1,138. And the 2 trucks that were damaged in the city building, we turned that in on our insurance, and then our insurance, I guess, will contact theirs. That was $24,017.88. And then our 911, a couple of sites on Ambrose and Eagle Tunnel also suffered some lightning damage. That amounts to $14,909.50. This will be the first reading for Amendment 2.
All in favor? Or So moved.
Yes, so moved, yeah.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? So carried. Old business. As you all know, this radon has kind of been an ongoing thing. We finally got the test canister put back in after the blowers were put in. They sent us the test results back on all of them except one for some reason. We're still waiting on it. But I have a copy of the test at the office if anybody wants to know, wants to look at them. The one problem we had was in the PVA. It is now at 1.1, which is well below any hazardous level. The sheriff's office is at 0.7, which is well below. I think 4, they say 4 is probably acceptable. Tracy's office is down 1 point something, so we're still waiting for one more to get back. I think the one they're concerned with is the one that's in the old dungeon and the old courthouse. They want another reading on it, so we'll take care of that. But the other ones have dropped the levels to an acceptable outside air. The reapportionment, I guess we've all looked at this and played with it and decided that there's really not a good way to do it or not to do it, and it's broad as it is long, and the way that we did it was probably the easiest way as far as landmark and definite boundaries. As far as I'm concerned, we'll leave the boundaries the same and make this the second reading, be done with it, turn it into the state. If that's acceptable, I need a motion on that. Got a motion? Second, all in favor? Opposed? So carried. We've also got as you all well know, we've got a sewer project that is about to happen down here at Carver's Trail. The bid's been accepted, and it did. But part of that process is when there's grant monies involved, they want to be assured that people are going to tie into something that they're getting for nothing. So what we've got here, I think Spike has got it, is just a basic ordinance that says that when the sewer is put in, that the people will tie into it.
We're just doing it for cars.
For Carver's Trail.
This will be like a first reading.
This will be
Yeah,
a first reading.
first.
Just an ordinance, amending the Gallatin County ordinances codified to include a new chapter 51 entitled Section 51.001 that said mandatory public sewer hookup. You know, we have extended municipal waters out of the county. We have enjoyed consistent population growth and development in many areas, especially subdivisions. And that we've taken steps to control and maintain the growth, including implementation of planning and zoning now necessary for the safety and health of our community and citizens by creating just a sewer board, but to require mandatory hookup to sewer services that are available at new and additional areas in our community. So be it therefore by the Fiscal Court of the County of Gallatin that 51.001 use of public sewers require the owners of all houses, buildings, and properties. It's going to be limited at this point to Carver's Trail subdivision. Use for human occupancy, employment, recreation, other purpose situated in Gallatin County in Carver's Trail subdivision, abutting on road, highway, street, alley, right of way, which is located in a public sanitary sewer, is hereby required at his expense to install suitable toilet facilities area and to connect such facilities directly with the proper public sewer in accordance with the provisions of these rules and regulations within 90 days after the date of official notice to do so. And then there's a section on new sanitary sewers where they are constructed, and that's going to be in Carver's Trail subdivision. That's where that'll trigger this requirement. And then there's a permit requirement, so I'm assuming we don't want them to do it without us knowing about it. So they're required to obtain, contact and have the proper permits. And then inspections included in that. And then there's also, if there's a separate building with separate toilet facilities, even on the same property, a sewer hook or a connection for each building would be required. There's a penalty that's imposed that if they're not complying with this, should be liable civilly to a penalty not to exceed $1,000 for individuals and $5,000 for corporations, and each day in which the violation occurs shall be considered a separate violation, and there's $1,000 for each violation, and we could add that penalty to their user charges and fees, and it shall not be construed as liquidated damages and shall accrue in addition to any liability for any consequential damages resulting from the violations. If there's some damage to our equipment or things that are caused by their problems. And then there's also a criminal punishment of a $1,000 fine and imprisonment is a possibility. And that's all the scare tactics to make them do it. But we have to have, this was taken from a form for mandatory sewer hookup. Actually, something that we've talked about off and on for years as we've gone through this project. So, first reading would be October 13th.
Anything to add to that, Dick? On that?
Did that say the second building, no matter whether it had water to it or not, had to be hooked to the sewer, or just, did it say?
Well, I would say probably if it's a second building, and there's any kind of facility in that building, I'm sure there's water.
If it's just, what if it's a garage?
It says separate independent building sewer shall be provided for every building that is to be occupied unless otherwise approved by city or county. Minimum size shall be 4 inches for a single family unit.
When you say occupied, you mean living in?
Yeah.
I don't have the definition here, but we can.
Motion to accept the first reading?
So moved.
Motion, Brianna?
Second.
Second, all in favor? Opposed? So carried. Okay, I think we've got the, one thing I do want to bring up, and this is just on our old business, the Glinco sewer project. There was a couple little issues on it that I think we've got rectified. There was a driveway issue. The people have called me, emailed me, said that's been taken care of. There was an issue with some property stakes that were taken out. Joe Muller was going to go take care of that. And there was an issue with a driveway down where the lift pump is at behind BP, and that's to be taken care of. So other than that, I think that's pretty much completed that project. I am going to wait until the next Glinco city council meeting, go to that to see if they've got any complaints that I'm not aware of. But I think all the ones that were brought to my attention when I was there a month before last, I think have been taken care of. So that's about ready to close out, get that behind us. Under old business, we've got the second reading of the ordinance for the sheriff.
This was an ordinance establishing and implementing a program to recover service fees for the deployment of public safety services rendered by the County of Gallatin for motor vehicle accidents, services that are outside the scope of basic crime prevention, investigation, and fire protection. Whereas emergency services run actively in our community, whereas they have investigated different ways to maintain high level of quality for safety services and emergency services, whereas we're raising real property taxes to meet the increase in service demand would not be fair to property owners, whereas the Gallatin Fiscal Court desires to implement a fair and equitable procedure by which to collect motor vehicle accident fees and shall establish a building system in accordance with state and federal laws, regulations, and guidelines. Now therefore be it ordained by the county, by ordinance council of County of Gallatin, that Section 1, County of Gallatin Safety Services Department shall initiate service fees for the delivery of safety services department services, personnel, supplies, and equipment to the scene of motor vehicle accidents. The rate of service fee shall be that which is the usual, customary, and reasonable cost, which include any services, personnel, supplies, and equipment, and may fluctuate based on the needs of individual accidents. Section 2, service fee shall be initially filed to the motor vehicle insurance, representing an add-on cost of the claim for damages of the vehicles, property, and/or injuries. Claim cost shall be filed to the insurance company, owner of the vehicle, owner of the property, or other responsible party. Section 3, the county judge, executive, and/or the finance director may make rules or regulations, and from time to time may amend, revoke, or add rules or regulations not consistent with this section, as they may deem necessary or expedient respective billing for these fees or collection thereof. Section 4, all amounts collected as a result of this ordinance shall be placed to a fund as established by the finance director to be used exclusively for personnel, supplies, and equipment for the safety services departments. Section 5, it's found and determined that all formal actions of the Gallatin County Fiscal Court concerning and relating to the adoption of this ordinance were adopted in open meetings of fiscal court. All deliberations of the court and any of its committees resulted in such formal actions were in compliance with all legal requirements. Section 6, the ordinance shall take effect upon publication. First reading was September 8, 2011. Second reading would be tonight.
All in favor?
So moved.
Second?
You've done it twice tonight.
I move this shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's good to see the sheriff sitting back there.
Yeah, I know, that's fine.
Yeah.
I know you're back there.
Yeah.
So carried. One thing that was not on the other business, and this just popped up, we had the first reading of the Windy Ridge road taxing district. And it's not changed, they still have chose to do that. This would just basically be where they've set this up themselves, this is what they want. We're approving it, they will set up their own treasurer and their own president. We'll collect it like we do all the other road taxing districts. So with that being said, I need a motion to accept this as a second reading for the Windy Ridge taxing district.
I'll make a motion for the Windy Ridge.
Okay, I got a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? So carried. I'll notify them that has been done. Any other old business? Anything you all think of? I think we will cover new business. I'm going to give you a quick little history here. 2 weeks ago, or whatever it was, we got called in the senior citizens building. Water was running into the building. And I went over and looked at it. And what it is, it's an old dilapidated building. I mean, let's just call it what it is. We've made the best of it for years. It's done, it's served its purpose, but I feel that we've got to do something to try to, raise the standard a little bit. We went over there, took a shop vac, and was sucking water out of the building, whereas the floor is actually lower than the ground outside. So when you get these hard rains, it runs right in the building. It's not handicap accessible. We did redo the bathrooms. We tried to make it as accommodating as what we can. But you can only do so much with what you got. And upon doing that and looking at how our Meals on Wheels have increased, our indigent services have increased, we're way up on that. I feel that we've got to counterattack that. And the only feasible way that I see to do that is, you all very well know, there's been a $5,000 exemption in our payroll tax, which has allowed transient workers to come into our area and basically work and not pay the payroll tax. This is completely unfair to the people that do pay it. That's always been my stand on it, that I would be upset as a person that lived and worked here and paid that year round, to know that there's people that come in here and fall through the cracks or through the loophole and do not pay it. So my proposal tonight is to eliminate that $5,000 exemption. And in the same process of eliminating that, keep the same ordinance in place. The 1% tax will not change, it'll be the same. But my estimation is that this will create a minimum of $50,000. And I would like for it to even be put in the ordinance as we amend it, that this $50,000 is earmarked every year to our senior building maintenance and or construction, which I feel that the latter part, the latter being construction, that I think that is something we're going to have to cross. I think it's a start, but I want to pay as we go. We don't want debt, but I think that whatever this creates, we need to put it toward this project. I think it's worthwhile. And it will also be used in our assistance programs. And I want to stress, very, very definite, that the $50,000 that we think that this will make a difference, and the leeway that this will give us now to go get these transient workers, that this money will be earmarked, that it will not go in the general fund and just be scattered out amongst everything. It will be earmarked to bring these programs up to the level that I feel they should be. And I can talk about this all night. We all could. There's pros, there's cons. But I guess what I'm looking for is we'll have the first reading to amend it with the earmark in it. And I need a motion on that in a second. And if there's anything we want to change, we can do it on the second reading.
I think you're pretty much right on the mark, especially for the towards the senior citizens. Yeah. So
I got a motion and a second. All in favor? Opposed? So carried. And again, I think that it's a good move, and I think you all realize that we've been very lucky as far as the amount of new construction and work going on, large projects in the county, and that we are losing literally thousands of dollars because of this exemption.
should have been this way from the beginning.
It should have, Eric, and I think that it will be a good thing, and I think probably about June, we will start to see the difference in this, and we can set a fund aside, and one of my goals, and while I'm here as judge, is to get us a decent senior center and get these folks what I think they deserve.
Will this be effective January?
It will be effective January, yeah.
Is there a time on that, Lisa, we have to?
We'll have two readings, on this, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then send out.
And we'll send out
first of December.
notices, we'll send out notices after the second reading, notifying all the taxpayers.
Another little item here on the new business, and I think this kind of happened in between meetings. They stopped our FEMA funding. They had a three schedule as A, B, and C. C being reimbursement for road slippage, and I think it put the state in the tailspin as it did us. because we basically had all the ours fixed that had probably in the neighborhood of $90,000 to $100,000 in it. Well, they stopped the funding of it because it projected it would run out the last of September. The great news is we got an email last week, they've reinstated it, so we will get a raise. And the state, there's been some concern about the slip on 16, on Highway 16. My understanding is that is going to be taken care of. I think there were some people and some rumors that they thought that road was going to be closed. But I think as soon as the Schedule C kicks back in and the money makes it to the right places, that will be fixed and open back up. That is my understanding.
Through the district office?
Yeah.
Are our guys taking care of it?
Our maintenance, our people out here, District 6, yeah. Another thing that we had done, we had a few little issues with our payroll company. We called around, put this back out. We've changed payroll companies. It went smoother this last 2 weeks. And actually, it's about $200 a month cheaper, so I went ahead and locked into them, and it seems to be going very well. The last thing is, as you all, most of you know, Robin Costello. We love Robin. She's an animal advocate. I mean, like we've never seen. She works hard for the animal shelter. She is worked and filled out and did all the legwork to acquire approximately a $20,000 grant for the animal shelter. And I want Robin to be recognized in doing that. We had very little part in it, and I'm not going to sit here and, take the credit. Robin did it. We helped her on a few little items with it, but I just want to commend Robin for it. She's not here. But to Robin, a good job.
Was that this letter from?
That's the letter we've got here. We've got the acceptance here. We've got to get the rest of the paperwork to fill out to send in, and that would be our part. And they've got a schedule of improvements that they would make to the animal shelter. And again, Robin played a large part. Any other thing? Anybody got anything? Any concerns?
Yes, I do, Judge. I got a question for you. You said y'all talked about lifting the first 1% or putting 1% payroll tax back on the $5,000 to catch the transit workers coming through the county.
Right.
You said it would generate up to $50,000.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. When you add in the Gallatin Steel employees and the other employees that work in the county, how much generation overall will it generate?
We know we really have it will generate probably a minimum of 50,000. I'm expecting that this will now open up the door for us to be aggressive with the people that are coming in here because it covers everybody all the time. And I honestly believe that this will generate somewhere between $75,000 and $90,000, depending on the outside work that's going on. I think it would be a minimum of probably $50,000.
So anything above that $50,000 will also be donated to the seniors?
Absolutely.
Wait a minute.
Well, no, I said seniors, no. We earmarked $50,000 because I'm comfortable that $50,000 will be the minimum on that. And actually will be the seniors, maintenance, the construction, and community assistance programs. So that is kind of a...
So anything above and beyond that will be allotted further?
For any worthwhile cause, it will not be put in the general fund and just dispersed randomly.
I got something, Ken. I just wanted to thank everybody who donated and participated in the kids fishing fund, or fishing tournament at Crystal Bay Lake. It was a big success. A lot of kids. Everybody had a good time.
I failed to get up there.
Did all the kids get a fishing pole?
Yes, they did.
Good.
Yeah, they got a pile of them up there when I stopped out.
Yes, sir. It was really good.
Any other business, anything? Yeah, yeah.
What's the name, Judge, of the new payroll company?
It's actually Blake, they still go Blake. It's
Blake's Tax
Blake Tax Service, yeah. And they're local, so that's, that was another place.
I like all the work.
Yeah.
When was the change made?
The change was made 2 weeks
We
ago.
got 10-1.
Yeah,
And who was the old payroll company?
was paychecks.
Okay.
And it worked out to $200 to $300 cheaper. And, yeah. They, what Blake did is gave us a price per month. The other company gave us a price per week. So, you know, sometimes there's 5 pay periods to it in a month, so that way it worked out. It seems to work out well. With no more new business, we've got a couple of items that we need to go into closed session for. If anybody's got anything real quick?
Do you want to mention Judge, do you want to mention the Sparta Fall Festival?
Oh, yeah, we got the Sparta, how can I forget it? We've got the Sparta Fall Festival this Saturday. And for any of you folks who want to come watch me get a pie in the face by the own county judge, you're welcome to come.
You mean you didn't give enough pennies?
I'm going to, no, even if I won.
I stole a bunch of business here and took them over.
Even if I won that, I cannot put a pie in Judge Keith's face. I cannot do that. She's a very fine person, a fine judge, and I'm going to take my medicine.
What time are you gonna eat pie?
I think 4 o'clock. I think she's got it counted down. Judge Keith, I seen her earlier in the week. I think she's got it counted down to the hour that, you know. So I'm going to get a pie in the face. I don't mind, it's a good cause. It'll all be in fun, but if you get a chance, come over to the Fall Festival. They have a big time over there. It's a nice little get together. No more new business. Like I said, I'm going to need a motion to do a closed session.
I'm not real familiar with how fiscal court works.
Okay.
I have an issue. I emailed you about it. I didn't get an answer. What do I do if I have an issue I want to bring forward? Do I go to one of the commissioners or come to you, or how do you bring the issue forward?
The best way is talk to your magistrate and/or call us, and we will put you on the agenda, whatever the issue is. And we've got a few minutes. We're very informal here. Feel free to.
Okay. I sent you an email. You make Frank Workman from Sugarberry area.
Okay. I tried to email you back.
Okay. You remember what the email?
Absolutely. And,
is it something I should bring up now, or should I talk to somebody later?
Well, I'll give these guys, because this is new to them, I'll kind of give them a heads up, and it's probably something that we have discussed.
I'm sure you have.
And I've got a copy of the email. I did try to send it to you, and probably, like you had talked before, your computer may not have been working, you couldn't have got it, so I've got it on file. Okay. Mr. Workman had sent me an email. We've all talked about this. We've reached a point, and Spike, you and I have talked about this. We've reached a point where we've got to settle in with a reputable internet supplier out in the county. The way it's working now is not working. Mr. Workman here is one of many people that have the same issue. Some days he has it, some days he don't. It's not affordable. It's not affordable. And actually, the county attorney and I had talked about this some months back, that we need to come up with a plan, and either be, we talk through somebody, through Insight, through some of the other suppliers, and I don't have a problem with, if we can get a good company to supply internet out in the county, I don't have a problem with going with a franchise with them and let them do it and make it worth their while. And in my email, I also stated what happens is it's financially profitable around the cities, Warsaw, for them to provide a decent internet service. But it becomes non-profitable to try to take that same service out into the county because of the sparse population, and I understand that. But there are different types of services now that I think we can look into.
The problem we have where we live at is they can't come in with the cable and internet together, cable TV and internet. Okay, a local outfit has a franchise for cable TV. They won't come in as long as they can't. Insight cannot come where we're at because the other company has the franchise. The other company does not give us the service. We're supposed to have TV cable in our area from this other company. I called her last year, I'm not going to name her.
Right, that's
I
good.
called her last year about getting cable TV where I live. She says, Frank, I'm not even sure we have our lines worked out there anymore. They've got one customer in the area, and he pays the bill every month, but her son takes care of the bill. He don't even know if she watches TV or not. I talked to him. So what I'm saying is, if we could get the cable, if we could get the cable TV, the internet service is available too.
Right.
Okay. The other option is Noontown, which we're too far away, and they won't come in with the fiber optic because, like you said, there's not enough business there. But now we're only inside is across the bay from us. I mean, it's not a matter of running a lot of power lines or anything. They could come in there if it wasn't for the franchise.
And probably, Mr. Workman, probably Spike and I, and there's a couple other communication people that we do know, we probably should set up a task force to study that. And I believe that the franchise that you're referring to has expired.
Really?
Don't you, Spike? I believe it has expired.
So it's open. So it's open.
Yeah, so it's open, and we definitely do.
But they're not gonna wanna come in here unless somebody gets awarded the franchise, and that way they've got some kind of protection and guarantee. We probably need to review the whole, it's an opportunity, really, it's what they say, it's not a problem, it's an opportunity to fix some things. You're not the first person who's come and asked the question.
But, I mean, we've taken applications and seems like they just die in the air somewhere, you know.
Well, dealing with Cincinnati Bell, you might as well give it up. I've been on the phone with them repeatedly.
As an individual, you can't get time today.
I've been told that 75% of the equipment needed to give us high-speed internet is in place. But that's as far as, I've got high-speed on a mile on each side of my house. And in 42, it ends at Green Mountain Ballpark and picks back up at 127. There's just a block there. We don't have anything. And it's like that all over the county. It's tough.
You think that their
Problem
franchise
is-
has expired, and my next step, I'll go to the inside. I know some people there that I might be able to tell them, you know, if that's the case.
The problem is you have to be, Joe, problem is with Cincinnati Bell Insight, because I have their T1 lines there at the house. The problem with them is you have to be within 3 miles of their hub. Once you get farther out from 3 miles from their hub, then you start losing speed and fast. But you have to be within 3 miles of a hub where it,
But the cable, you know, Mr. Meyer from up in the Crystal Lake area, he's been here 2 or 3 times to fiscal court over the year. And it irritates him because the Insight people will be out there working on their box, which is right out in his front yard. And they're like, well, we can't serve you. And he said, but you're right there. My house is right there. He said, we can't serve you. So it's a lot of the franchise issues that we got to deal with.
because I know Mr. Workman, he sent me emails and things before asking us about internet out there. And without the tires, we can't, even us, we can't even hit down in there where they're at.
Yeah, when you, and I should have called you, I apologize, you didn't have your phone number on it. But I had a nice letter back to you, and I hit the send button, and it said, cannot send me what, and I thought, well, he's right, you know, I guess it's, you know, one of these moments and it's not working, but No, it certainly needs to be addressed, and we will address it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the group is not doing, because like I said, as individuals, it's hard to get.
They're just telling us we can't for our landlines.
Probably, I mean, he was talking about contacting Insight, because Insight's probably our best shot at this point. You know, instead of just shooting out there for bid, you know, for a franchise or whatever, maybe they should be contacted and say, we're thinking about doing this, you know, if we were to open this up, what's your level of interest?
Exactly.
And we'll go from there. He'd rather have it yesterday instead of tomorrow, right?
I'm sorry.
You would rather be fixed yesterday than worry about it, you know, 2 months from now, right? Merry Christmas. It's a Christmas. present.
Yeah. But, yeah, I do appreciate you coming down. That has been probably,
It's like these meetings, I want to get more informed about what goes on here.
we're glad to have it.
I guess this is the gentleman that puts the video on. I can't watch it because my internet service. And the other thing was, I keep checking your website to get the minutes to see what, I've been here 3 years, I'm from Northern Kentucky, and I want to get involved in a way, but I don't want to just like tonight jump in with, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I've tried to get your minutes and everything, and again, your website hasn't been updated since March, so.
We've got June, it's up to June now, yeah.
Well, we'll get the internet out there.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah. But we do appreciate you. We do appreciate you coming down. And actually, I encourage people to stay involved. You know, stay involved. That's how we get,
Like I told you in my internet, I moved down here, I retired here, you know, and I'm planning on, I'm still trying to get my wife to she lives in Florence, but my son started a business down here, he lives down here, and my other son does a lot of business down here, and that's why I was kind of listening on your payroll tax thing, that he's gonna get involved with that, but again, thanks for your time.
thank you. Any other new business?
Judge, what's the category for the closed session?
The category is personnel and real estate.
Thank you.
Before you do that, I was looking at, when you go over the minutes, it looks like that the concrete work at the courthouse will be done by the end of October.
It will be done by the end of
Don't,
October.
you're not gonna forget the ladies in the clerk's office
I know, but
about the pay.
no.
I'm just,
Do you think that I would?
absolutely.
I
But I'm the one that has to go in there, the day after the concrete gets poured.
that would give her.
Okay, thank you.
Does the contractor know about this?
He knows about it. Yeah, he knows.
Do you have a motion going close?
Yeah, I got a motion.
I made a motion.
Motion to go into closed session, second. A second, all in favor? Opposed? So carried.